Good morning, guys. So, my last presentation on a drug will be about the drug ceftaroline, which was somewhat recent. Relatively speaking, it was approved in 2010. But this presentation is going to be a little short, quick one about kind of what it does and how it works and yada, yada, yada. So, the purpose of ceftaroline, which is brand name Teflaro, it's really a newer cephalosporin antibiotic, and it is designed to be effective against MRSA, which is great because if you guys know MRSA, then you know that it's pretty much almost untreatable because most antibiotics are useless because the bacteria, the Staph aureus in it, is resistant, which is what it stands for, methicillin-resistant Staph aureus. And methicillin is kind of like a last-second antibiotic that's used when all other antibiotics have been used. So if you get this, it's bad. And like I said, it was approved in 2010, and it works through injection, as seen here. And each vial or dosage is close to about $50, so it's not really cheap, but on the other hand, it is definitely worth it if you have MRSA, if it's effective, because you don't want to have MRSA because that's bad. So the method of action, we talked about it being a cephalosporin, and in general, I know I talked about this in a previous presentation, but beta-lactam antibiotics like penicillin, and they're called this because they have this beta-lactam ring here, and cephalosporins do also, but they work to counteract bacterial cell wall synthesis, and this is kind of the active site of the antibiotic because it mimics an enzyme that helps to build the cell walls. And you can see how cephalosporins are a little different than penicillins, but they're different with how they are attached here. And you can see, let me go back. Here, ceftaroline, it does have the beta-lactam ring, but it has a ton of other stuff attached to it also. So like I said, most of them bind to the active site of the protein, blah, blah, blah. But changes in the active site, such as in some bacterial proteins for the cell wall synthesis, they've led to the antibiotic resistance seen, such as MRSA, which is what we're trying to get here. So ceftaroline's action involves two steps, and number one, it binds to an allosteric site on a protein, which causes a change in the structure of the protein, which is good for a number of reasons, because one, the change doesn't allow it to work normally, so it kind of inhibits that way, but the change also makes the protein available for binding by a second molecule, probably such as like penicillin or other antibiotics to kind of double team the protein. And this is just a picture in case you forgot. So we'll say this is the protein for cell wall synthesis. This is part of the cell wall that it needs to build it up, blah, blah, blah. And this is ceftaroline, so ceftaroline will bind to it. And then once that binds, then this conformation will change. You can see the active site slightly different now to where that won't bind. But what the picture doesn't show is maybe penicillin or another antibiotic fits this structure right here. So see how it won't bind up here because it's changed a little bit over time, but this allosteric binding will cause it to change and then bind again. So it'll help to get rid of the protein and help our body fight off the infection. So it's a miracle drug, right? Wrong, not quite. So the bad thing is, studies have shown that in many cases of MRSA, the Staph aureus, they're now resistant to ceftaroline, and again, that's due to the mutations, which kind of stinks. But the new mutations have prevented the binding of the drug to its allosteric site on the protein, which kind of inhibits all the drug action from working. But the bottom line is, it's an ongoing, ever-changing battle to fight not only MRSA but other bacterial infections, and to try to stop, or not really stop, we can't, but limit antibiotic resistance around the world. But the news is we're headed in the right direction, because I think talking about this like allosteric binding stuff is neat. It's newer. Not many people have tried it in the past, so it's definitely a step in the right direction, and there are many possibilities in the future. So we'll see what happens. So, anyways, you guys enjoy the rest of the class. Unless this is at the end of class, then have a good weekend. We'll catch you later.